The France and Germany Star is a military campaign medal, instituted by the United Kingdom in May 1945 for award to subjects of the British Commonwealth who served in the Second World War, specifically for service in France, Belgium, Luxembourg, the Netherlands or Germany and adjacency areas between the 6th of June 1944 and the 8th of May 1945. One clasp, the Atlantic Clasp, was instituted to be worn on the medal ribbon. The Second World War stars, altogether 8 campaign stars and 9 clasps, were initially instituted for campaign service during the Second World War. On the 8th of July 1943, the 1939–1945 Star and the Africa Star were the first 2 of these stars to be instituted. One more campaign star, the Arctic Star, and one more clasp, the Bomber Command Clasp, were belatedly added on the 26th of February 2013, more than 67 years after the end of the war. Only one of these campaign stars, the 1939–1945 Star, covered the full duration of the Second World War from its outbreak on the 3rd of September 1939 to the victory over Japan on the 2nd of September 1945. No one could be awarded more than 5 campaign stars and no one could be awarded more than 1 clasp to any one campaign star. 5 of the 9 clasps were the equivalents of the namesake campaign stars and were awarded for the same respective campaigns as those stars, to be worn on the ribbon of that campaign star of the applicable group which had been earned first. The maximum of 6 possible campaign stars of the following: the 1939–1945 Star with, if awarded, either the Battle of Britain Clasp or the Bomber Command Clasp. Only one of the Atlantic Star, Aircrew Europe Star, or France and Germany Star, and, if awarded, the first to be earned respectively of the Aircrew Europe Clasp, France and Germany Clasp or Atlantic Clasp, to be worn on the ribbon of that one of these 3 campaign stars to have been first earned and awarded. The Arctic Star, the Africa Star with, if awarded, the first to be earned of the North Africa 1942–43 Clasp, 8th Army Clasp or 1st Army Clasp, either the Pacific Star or Burma Star or, if awarded, either the Burma Clasp or Pacific Clasp respectively, to be worn on the ribbon of that one of these 2 campaign stars to have been first earned and awarded. The Italy Star. Since only the first of the Atlantic Star, Aircrew Europe Star and France and Germany Star to be earned could be awarded to any one individual, the possible star and clasp combinations for these 3 campaign stars are: the Atlantic Star with either the Aircrew Europe Clasp or the France and Germany Clasp, the Aircrew Europe Star with either the France and Germany Clasp or the Atlantic Clasp, the France and Germany Star with the Atlantic Clasp. As a result of the different date ranges involved, the earlier period Aircrew Europe Clasp could not be added to the later period France and Germany Star institution. Concurrently to the campaigns in the Far East, the Allies launched the final campaign in northwest Europe on D-Day on the 6th of June 1944, when British, American and Canadian forces landed on the beaches of northern France. Over the following 11 months, these forces advanced across Western Europe and liberated German-occupied France, Belgium and the Netherlands. At the same time, the Russians advanced towards Berlin from the east through German-occupied Poland, Hungary, Slovakia and Austria. Germany surrendered on the 8th of May 1945 when the Allies reached Berlin and the war in Europe was brought to an end. The France and Germany Star was instituted by the United Kingdom in May 1945, for award to those who had served in operations on land or in the air in France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Holland or Germany from the 6th of June 1944 until the end of active hostilities in Europe on 8 May 1945, both dates inclusive, as well as for naval and merchant navy service directly in support of these land operations. Award criteria. The France and Germany Star was awarded for entry into operational service in France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Holland and Germany between 6 June 1944 and 8 May 1945 inclusive. The qualifying sea area was south of a line from the Firth of Forth to Kristiansand in the North Sea, east of longitude 6 degrees west in the Bay of Biscay, and in the English Channel, provided such service was directly in support of land operations in France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Holland or Germany. Aircrew who flew on operations against the enemy over Europe or over the sea area in direct support of land operations, qualified by one operational sortie. The qualification for flying personnel posted or employed on air transport or ferrying duties from bases in the United Kingdom was at least 3. Landings in Europe. Sorties flown from the Mediterranean did not qualify for the award of the France and Germany Star. Similarly, Army personnel who entered Austrian territory during the closing stages of hostilities in Europe, and naval and merchant navy service afloat in the Mediterranean in support of operations in the south of France, did not qualify for this award. All these qualified for the award of the Italy Star. The France and Germany Star was not awarded in addition to the Atlantic Star or the Aircrew Europe Star. Personnel who qualified for the award of 2 or all 3 of these campaign stars were awarded only that star for which they first qualified and a clasp in respect of the first earned of the other 2 stars. Since the Aircrew Europe Star could not be earned for service after the 5th of June 1944, only the Atlantic Clasp could be awarded to a recipient of the France and Germany Star. Order of wear. Campaign medals and stars are not listed by name in the order of wear prescribed by the British Central Chancery of the Orders of Knighthood, but are all grouped together as taking precedence after the Queen's Medal for Chiefs and before the Polar Medals, in order of the date of the campaign for which awarded. In the order of wear of the Second World War campaign medals, the 2 campaign medals take precedence after the 9 campaign stars, of which the order of wear was determined firstly by the respective campaign start dates, secondly by the campaign's duration and thirdly by the dates of institution. The 1939 to 1945 star, from the 3rd of September 1939 to the 2nd of September 1945, the full duration of the Second World War. The Atlantic Star, from the 3rd of September 1939 to the 8th of May 1945, the duration of the Battle of the Atlantic and the war in Europe. The Arctic Star, from the 3rd of September 1939 to the 8th of May 1945, the duration of the Battle of the Atlantic and the war in Europe. The Aircrew Europe Star, from the 3rd of September 1939 to the 5th of June 1944, the period until D-Day-1. The Africa Star, for the 10th of June 1940 to the 12th of May 1943, the duration of the North African Campaign. The Pacific Star, for the 8th of December 1941 to the 2nd of September 1945, the duration of the Pacific War. The Burma Star, from the 11th of December 1941 to the 2nd of September 1945, the duration of the Burma Campaign. The Italy Star, from the 11th of June 1943 to the 8th of May 1945, the duration of the Italian Campaign. The France and Germany Star, from the 6th of June 1944 to the 8th of May 1945, the duration of the Northwest Europe campaign. The Defense Medal, from the 3rd of September 1939 to the 2nd of September 1945, the full duration of the Second World War. The War Medal 1939 to 1945, from the 3rd of September 1939 to the 2nd of September 1945, the full duration of the Second World War. Preceded by the Italy Star, succeeded by the Defense Medal. Description: the set of 9 campaign stars was designed by the Royal Mint engravers. The stars all have a ring suspended which passes through an eyelet formed above the uppermost point of the star. They are 6-pointed stars, struck in yellow copper zinc alloy to fit into a 44 mm diameter circle, with a maximum width of 38 mm and 50 mm high from the bottom point of the star to the top of the eyelet. The obverse has a central design of the royal cipher GRIV surmounted by a crown. A circlet, the top of which is covered by the crown, surrounds the cipher and is inscribed the France and Germany Star. The reverse is plain and, as with the other Second World War campaign medals, a no engraving policy was applied by all but 3 British Commonwealth countries. The recipient's name was impressed on the reverse for Australians, Indians and South Africans. In the case of Indians, this consisted of the recipient's force number, rank, initials, surname and service armour corps, and in the case of South Africans, of the force number, initials and surname, in block capitals. The clasp was struck in yellow copper zinc alloy and has a frame with an inside edge which resembles the perforated edge of a postage stamp. It is inscribed Atlantic and was designed to be sewn onto the medal's ribbon. When the ribbon is worn alone, a silver rosette is worn on the ribbon bar to denote the award of the clasp. The ribbon is 32 mm wide, with equal width dark blue, white, red, white and dark blue bands. The colors are those of the Union flag and also the national colors of France and the Netherlands. The ribbons for this medal and the Defense Medal, as well as those of the other Second World War campaign stars, with the exception of the Arctic Star, were devised by King George VI.